I don't know, man. We can just fucking roll with it. That. Are you go on your Twitch or what? 3 minutes. Damn, Facebook too? Fucking A. Oh, you haven't started yet? Okay, cool. Hold on. Damn, my allergies are kicking my ass. Say, why don't you just have him join the call, but have him shut up? All right. Is my camera on?
Yeah, your camera's on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think it is. Settings, video.
There you go. Testing. Is that one working better or worse?
Do what?
Is that mic working better or worse?
I can't hear you that well.
Better or worse?
A little better.
101.
Yeah, it's way better.
All right, there you go. Hello, guys. Welcome to Cucuy Stories, Part 2. Tonight we have Aaron Cortez. He's going to be sharing some supernatural stories. Plus, we're going to ask him like 5 to 10 questions. All right, Mijo, you want to share your story first? Or do you want to go straight to the answers? I mean, questions.
Let's start with the questions first. Let's get to talking.
All right, so pick a number. Here, I'll spin the wheel, Mijo.
Yeah, just spin the wheel.
Question number 12. Would you sleep inside of a coffin for a night or get slapped by daddy?
The fuck? I guess someone gets slapped. Fuck that. I don't like coffee.
E. Okay, spin it one more time. 55 spin. Number 2. In your opinion, was the most brutal way to die?
The most brutal way to die. There's 2 options that come to mind: be drowning or death by fire.
I can't swim, so that is gonna drown for sure.
Yeah, bro. Death by drowning. That one scares me. My top 2.
Top 2. Okay. We'll do one more spin. Ooh, number 17. Would you rather say Bloody Mary 3 times in front of a mirror or get smacked by daddy?
I've done that Bloody Mary shit.
So what, you don't believe in it?
So, I mean, yeah, I do. Well, I mean, I don't say that it's like truly real, but how I see it is you're playing with something, you know? You play with something, something's gonna
Come back and bite you in the butt.
But I mean, I don't mind. I would do it. Instead of getting slapped twice.
Number 10. Would you rather spend a full night inside a haunted house if I pay you $200? Haunted house equals $100.
And what's the other option?
There ain't no other option, son.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said would you rather.
Let's say
sleep inside of a haunted house?
No, just like go inside. That's it.
Oh, yeah. Easy money. I'll go in.
Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. I want to know what kind of person you are real quick. Who is your favorite serial killer?
Favorite serial killer? Not a big fan of serial killer movies. The reason I'm not a big fan is because I'm not really scared of serial killers. They can be killed. Man, I guess one that freaked me out the most, I guess Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger kind of freaked me out pretty much, yeah.
Don't go memes now. Get you your memes.
I'd say that's more horror than serial killer, but I mean, he was a serial killer, so like saying Jason.
So you know my scary story with that Cucuy at Church's Chicken.
You have multiple.
Yeah, but the one with the lady in the restroom, that one was scary.
See that? I mean, yeah, that one was a little weird. I wouldn't say scary. How many times have you talked about your stories? You've had some pretty good ones.
Yeah, well, the one going home from work to Stonewall, and then the Cucuy at Church's Chicken. What else? I keep forgetting, but yeah, there's multiple.
Yeah, I'd say you had a couple that I was kind of present for.
So now here comes the moment of truth, mijo. Are you gonna tell me?
Me?
Yeah. You want to tell me like a scary story or like a something you heard?
All right. I'll just go ahead and just I'll start with a couple. I don't know. Go with it. So they're not really stories because they're things that really happened in my life. Growing up as a little kid, well, let's just start with my family first. My family is kind of a pretty, I wouldn't say spiritual. I'd say kind of religious. They were super religious back in the day before I was born, but we've had a lot of things happen throughout all of our lives. Starting with my pops, my pops went through a bunch of stuff when he was growing up, seeing things and just kind of dealing with it. He found religion, um, kind of taught it to me, but he didn't enforce it on me. Wasn't a big thing with him for enforcing. He felt like, my family back in the day were they were kind of hard on him, forcing them to, you know, learn this religion. So, but anyways, growing up as a kid, I I guess just to start off, man, I had the imaginary friend on this street that I'm living on now. Um, when I was a kid, his name was Kyle, and this imaginary friend. First, it was like your typical ordinary imaginary friend. You know, you kind of made him up in your mind and played along with it, and would tell your cousins or friends like, "I got an imaginary friend," poking fun. But sooner than later, things started happening. Things started getting moved, like toys and whatnot, and it was just kind of freaky at first. But I kind of went with it because you know, it was just my imaginary friend, and it became more realistic. Like he actually was a friend. Sometimes I felt like I could hear him talk to me, like, but it
Like
wasn't
he
like an
was
actual
physically
voice you
there.
could hear.
Mm-hmm.
Like you couldn't actually hear the voice, but you could hear him talking to you. Like for me. Anyways, my Thea Clara, Dylan, or my cousin's mom, my aunt Clara, she was pregnant with my little cousin Dylan's little brother, and she was staying with us for a while. And I would always talk about my imaginary friend Kyle, and we kept hearing footsteps in the ceiling. You know, I'm a little kid, so I actually do remember a lot, and I remember all the way back to when I was 3 years old, which is a lot of people say that that's like not possible, but I don't know. I can remember back to when I was like about 3 years old. But um, anyways, we kept hearing footsteps up in the attic all the time, and just little things here and there, things being moved around. And this is a new house, or it was a new house. It was a completely new house, newly bought, newly built. My dad just bought it, and there wasn't much to say that it was pre-haunted or something because we bought it new. And so, anyways, back to my aunt Clara, she kind of just kept hearing things all the time, and I started hearing them too. But I would just say, "Oh, that's my friend Kyle." That was the only explanation in my mind I could say. And then, like I said, eventually things started like actually happening. That imaginary friend started moving stuff for me. Well, this one time, Dylan and my cousins, they Gilbert, they were like my cousins just kind of tormented me a little bit about it. They're like, "Oh, you have an imaginary friend. Oh, look, I'm beating him up." They're punching the air and whatnot, like trying to just get me mad. And it worked. I got mad. I cried, but they kept doing that for like a whole day. And my sister even got in on it. And anyways, they messed with something because a little bit later, right after that, doors started slamming, toilets started flushing. Uh, they started hearing and seeing shit. I don't know exactly what they heard and saw. I just know that it scared them to the point where they all went home. And yeah,
So pretty
um,
much, Kyle, give them the old
yeah,
cuckoo whoop ass.
Kyle was real. And then after that, I got real scared because that actually scared me because you saw him as your imaginary friend. First, you made him up. First, he wasn't even there. First, he wasn't even. Then you started actually getting some real activity from him. And you're a little kid and you can't explain these things. You can't see what's happening, what's moving these things. So you get scared. I got scared. And it made me resent that imaginary. So I started like stop talking to it or acting like it was there or whatever, you know? And things started getting a little more weird. Um, my mom told me that she got home late or something like that to work a double, or after she worked the double. She said that I don't know her actual story. I would have to talk with her about it. But her story was she was being chased by a shadow down the hallway, and my dad said so. That was I'd say the starting point for me in seeing and hearing stuff. But it followed me all the way through. And eventually, we had to leave that house and move out to our ranch, which was about 15 minutes away from any town. So it was a good drive. It was pretty out there. Um, that ranch, man, it was beautiful, really nice, really kept up with. But there was always some eerie shit that went down there. Um, Sometimes during the day, a lot of times during the night, like a lot of times. I'd say, in my opinion, or from what I saw growing up, you'd probably have one good night out of 7 days of the week. You'd have one good night where there was nothing. You had a good night's sleep. For me. Mm. But anyways, we moved out there and we stayed with my grandma for a little bit in her little trailer that was on the same property while ours was getting built. Um, Nothing really was scary there, I don't think, at all for a little bit while we were living with my grandma on the same property, literally 100 yards away from where our house was being built. Um, Lasted like a month or two. We were staying there, then our house was built. Didn't really see anything or hear anything scary then. Kyle kind of just disappeared, like it wasn't even a thing anymore. And eventually, when we moved into our new house, I started school in comfort, and I'm in the first grade. So I was about, hey man, I don't even know those. Anyways, I was in the first grade, so I'm a little kid, and you know, going to school, normal things. But I think it was around the time that our neighbors. We called one of them the crazy lady, and the other one was George. But her real name, I think, was Nevis. Nevis. I think it was. Anyways, we called her the crazy lady, and her husband was George. And they kind of lived on our property in a way, but it was their property. It was just a weirdly plot land, I guess. I don't know. So things didn't really start happening that much at that time, but there was this feeling when I was a kid. At that time, something's always watching, like always watching. Um, you never felt comfortable, no matter where you went, bathroom, whatever. Bathroom was the first. I don't know why. I couldn't look at a mirror, nothing. I was always scared of bathroom. I was always scared of taking a shower, and I thought, now that I'm looking back, I was probably like, I look like a frightened little kid. Dude, grow up. But
That or Miko did not want to shower.
no, bro. It was, for some reason, it scared the shit out of me. It felt like something was always watching, and you know, I was I don't know, I was a dirty kid, bro. I was a dirty little kid, man. I was scared of the shower, so I never fucking took a shower. But I'm different now. Anyways, then things started getting real weird. The crazy lady started actually showing herself to us, not showing herself, like coming out and talking with us, and that's how we met her. She was a crazy lady because we would walk to the school bus at about 5 a.m. Get to the school bus. School bus pick us up at about 6 o'clock. It was a good 20-minute drive to school, 30-minute drive, something like that. And she would walk with us sometimes. She would meet us on the road, and she was always wearing. I swear, I don't know if I'm saying this wrong. I could be wrong, but I swear she was always wearing a white, like, nightgown that was kind of see-through, so it was kind of like, it was disturbing, bro. She was like a hippie. And you're a little kid, shit. But she was always dancing and trying to get us to dance with her, trying to pull us to the woods. Like, come on, let's go dance in the woods over here in the trees. So nice. It's so beautiful to be one with nature. Like, she was real hippie. She was real weird. I stayed away from her. I think,
Don't lie.
can't
Don't
remember.
lie.
No, bro, she was an old lady, bro. Ugly old lady. She wasn't no nice looking hippie, bro. She wasn't. She was an old lady. That was, I don't know, bro. She was scary looking. But yeah, she would do that, right? So we thought that was weird. And I think we complained to our parents. So I think Gilbert's mom or my mom or someone, maybe, I don't know if it had happened or not, but she kind of disappeared and stopped, coming to us or coming towards us after we talked to our parents about it. And things started getting worse. I started always being woken up by something, whether it be something falling, being moved, or whatever. Just, I was always being woken up by something that scared the shit out of me. When I started getting scared of it, when it started getting worse, I didn't know that I was terrified. But now, as an adult, it's different. But as a little kid, things started escalating a little more, and it was like, dude, something's there. You don't know what the hell it is. Like, what's happening? If something moved it. Something moved my cup, or something moved my TV or something. Anything like that. It really did happen, and it scared the shit out of me. Anyways, I gave it more and more attention because I was always so scared of it. And I would run to my parents' room. My safe haven would be my dad. First thing he'd do is come, there's nothing here. You're all right. There's nothing here. But then he started noticing too, because shit, just the sounds and the fucking bangings on the sides of the walls and the windows. That's when it really started escalating. And he started hearing it too, and he started noticing things too. And he would come out. When I'd go and cry to him, he'd come out and say some prayers in Spanish. Sometimes he would make me say them with him, but uh, yeah, man. And then that's when I started sleeping in the living room because I couldn't even sleep in my own room. We had a 5-bedroom house, newly built, and I couldn't even sleep in my own room. I had to sleep in the living room. The living room was kind of next to my parents' room, so it was like easy access for me to freaking run away, like real quick. But yeah, man, I started sleeping in the living room, and I wouldn't go to sleep. Like, I couldn't, because when I went to sleep, I'd always get woken up. So I was always scared to go to sleep. So shit, I was scared to go to sleep, scared to take a shower, scared to go to the bathroom. I was a mess of a kid. Uh, anyways, I remember there were some times where I would have to walk Gilbert home down the road. He was on the same property still, but man, dude, it was always so dark. As soon as you walked past our security light, it was like straight pitch black, bad. And to this day, I swear this really happened. I walked Gilbert home, and then I was kind of running back, but I was walking like real fast. And I kept hearing something flying over my head, like a big bird. Just a big bird flying over my head. And it scared the shit out of me. So I took off running. I didn't know, dude. It's late at night. What bird is out there late at night that's going to swoop down over your head? Besides an owl. Right? But I go inside, cry to my dad. He's like, there's nothing there, whatever. And Joe was living with us at that time.
And even he was like, "There's nothing there." Well, I put in my head, okay, there's nothing there. And Joe was like, "Hey, can you go get my pack of cigarettes out from my truck?" Dude, I didn't want to fucking go, bro. I didn't want to go. I was like, dude, I just came back. I was like, as a little kid, I'm just like, I just came back from outside. Like, no, I'm scared. Like, just go. It's right there. I'm watching you. Just go. And, eventually I went. And as soon as I got to Joe's truck, I don't even think I grabbed the pack of cigarettes. As soon as I got to Joe's truck, I saw in the reflection of his windows, something was standing behind me, like big, and like a shadow, like a big shadow. Like you ever seen the Hat Man?
Yeah.
All right, so like the Hat Man's silhouette minus the hat, but that silhouette, like that standing behind, like right behind me, bro, like it's right there. And as soon as I saw that, I turned around and threw my arm and looked back, and I looked up and there's a security light, and whatever that was behind me looked like it like turned into like a bird and then flew up to that security light, like just like disappeared in the dark, And I was gone, bro. I ran inside, fucking crying, bro. I was crying hard, and I don't know who I was there. I know it was Joe, my dad, and I think it was my tia Marcy, but they were concerned, bro, because they like my tia Marcy was, hey, there's something out there. Like she's like, I feel it, and Joe was like, shut the fuck up. Joe is my uncle Joe. He was crazy. He's got some. But anyways, he was like, there's nothing there, whatever. He thought I was bullshit. Well, my dad and my tia Marcy started closing all the blinds in the house. They fed me a couple of spoonfuls of sugar, and dude, I went to bed crying in my mom and dad's bed. I went to bed crying that night. That was one that sticks to me. That was one story that really sticks to me. A little after that, or probably around that, there was another time. Mark, I don't know if you ever met my cousin Mark.
Yeah, the guy with that chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he came and stayed with us for a little bit from Heveronville. And the first thing they did was make him sleep in the living room with me, And he's way older than me. Actually, he babysat me. I was a little baby. But he slept in the living room, and so did I. And I think it was his first night staying the night. He had his laundry basket full of his clothes, folded nice and neat, sitting next to our laundry room door. And he was turning off all the lights. And I told him, I was like, no, don't turn off the lights, please. Don't turn off the lights. He's like, dude, you got to go to bed, turning off all the lights. So he turned off all the lights, but he still had the TV on. And I'm laying there and I'm trying to go to sleep. I was like, if he beats me to sleep and turns everything on, we're going to have a bad night. So I'm trying, bro. I'm forcing myself to go to sleep, but I couldn't go to sleep. And he's like, he turned off the TV. I was like, no more. I was like, please leave the TV on, please, please, please. He's like, dude, no, bro. I'm trying to go to bed, man. Like, shut the fuck up. And I'm crying, bro. I'm like, Mark, please turn the TV on. Because, dude, I felt something was right there, man. Like, I felt it, like, in my chest. Something was right, because we were laying on a couch, like a sectional. And it felt like something was right on the other side of my end of the couch. Like, right there, dude, in the darkness. And he's like, dude, I'm not turning on TV. Go to fucking sleep. That's when I fucking saw, you know how the receivers for the cable boxes have a blue light that's always on?
Yeah.
So that blue light was on. Because we were laying on that's the only light that was in the freaking room, bro. The only light. And then, while I was arguing with Mark, I saw that light turn off, turn on. But it didn't turn off. What happened was something walked in front of that motherfucker. Something walked in front of that light. And then next thing you know, bro, Mark's basket full of his clothes, big basket, not a little one, bro. It was a big, tall one of the hampers, full of his clothes, bro, like overlapping. Got picked up, thrown across the living room, and hit the fireplace. Clothes everywhere. He jumped up so fucking fast and turned the TV on, and then went and turned the light on, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And dude, I'm fucking crying, bro. I'm like, "I told you, Mark, something's here. I fucking told you something is here." And I'm crying, bro. And Mark's like, "Go get your dad. Go get your dad right now." And I was just, dude, I ran so fucking fast. I didn't even knock, bro. I just barged in my dad's room, told him what happened, and my dad was like, "What the fuck?" Comes out, and he started saying prayers in Spanish again, and then him and Mark talked. But dude, I went and lay down. I went to sleep in my mom's bed, my mom and dad's bed. That one started to me. Mark remembers that one like to a T. Ever since then, he believed me something was fucking. And then another time, I started getting really annoyed, man. I started getting really annoyed because I could never sleep. Like, I was always tired for school. I could never wake up. I was always in a bad mood as a little kid. And my mom would always tell me, "You need to go to sleep. Like, if you don't go to sleep, you're going to be like this every single day. Like, you need to start going to sleep." And so, I got real tired of it. Real tired of hearing shit. I would always hear toilets slam and flush. We had 3 bathrooms. Yeah, we had 3 bathrooms. We had a master bathroom in my parents' room. On the other side of the house was our bathroom for our rooms, which I never fucking slept in my room. And then in the middle of the house, next to the living room, was a half a bath. It had a toilet. It was in the laundry room / back door area, but it was like right there next to the living room. And that one was the one that would always fucking. You would hear the other ones too, but you'd hear the toilet seat, boom, and then you'd hear toilet flush by itself. And then every now and then, the front door would open by itself. Like, just kind of open. It wasn't like full open. It was just kind of, and it was open, crack, the front door. My parents always said that it was because the door in the house was kind of uneven or something. They didn't put the house down right. But growing up, man, I went back to that house. That fucking door shuts. Like, that door locks when it shuts. It's like there. It's not going nowhere. You gotta turn the handle. But anyways, I would always hear that shit. But it was only individual. It was every now and then. Like, every other night, something different. Toilet seat slam. Another night, toilet seat flush. Another night, door open. Another night, cabinet doors are open. Another night, whatever. And dude, I would get so fucking. I started getting angry, man. Started getting annoyed by this shit. So I stood up to it. Fucking stood up to it. I made a mistake. I stood up to it and I made a mistake, bro, and I paid for it. I was laying down on the couch, my usual spot, trying to go to bed. It was about 1 a.m. Lights are on in the kitchen and the living room. Well, not the living room, just the kitchen, but it lights up the living room. And watching TV, my dad goes to bed. It's like 1 a.m. My dad already goes to bed. So I'm guessing this is like 2 a.m. Yeah, sleep. But I'm trying to go to sleep, bro. Like, I'm trying. I got my head covered with the cover because I don't want to see nothing. I got a little breathing hole for my mouth so I can fucking breathe through the cover. I got the TV kind of loud. That way I can just hear the TV only. I don't hear nothing else outside. And then I started hearing like this growl. Like a dog that's like right there. Just like, I don't know. We have dogs. And you ever kind of get a dog close to another dog and that dog lets off a little growl? Sounded like that. So I was like, what the hell is that? It kind of jolted me, scared me a little bit. I thought it was a TV. So I took the cover off my head and I look around. Nothing. And I sat there and I thought about it. And this is what happened. And I was like, leave me alone. just leave me alone. I don't want to hear nothing anymore. I'm tired. Leave me alone. And then I'm thinking in my head, like, Jesus, please help me. Please help me. And bro, as soon as I said in my head, Jesus, please help me, dude, front door slammed open, back door slammed open. All the toilet seats in the house, you heard them, bro, just echo. Slam. All the toilet seats or the toilets flush. The fucking sink turns on in the kitchen. All of the cabinets opened up. And dude, holy fucking shit, bro. I was gone. Fucking ran to my dad's room real quick, and I told my mom and dad come out. They're like, what the fuck? Like, all the doors are open. All the cabinets are open. Like, they're like, and the sink was on, and they're tripping out. They're like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And I need to talk to my mom more about that. But, man, dude, that freaked my dad out. That really did freak my dad out. I remember that because he called my Tia Missy, and he had my Tia Missy come over. And, yeah, man. I think it was the next week because these things happened like back to back. Whenever I first like disrespected whatever the hell it was, these things happened back. But I think it was the next week or the next couple of days. We woke up in the morning. All of our cabinets, we had like 4 cabinets on the side, 4 cabinets towards the kitchen window, sink, and whatever, and then 4 more cabinets that go above the stove and the fridge. So that whole fucking half a square, all cabinets, china, or whatever you want to put in their plates. Anyways, we had a bunch of fucking kitchenware, dude. My dad was a cook. He loved to cook. We had a bunch of kitchenware. And we also had old kitchenware because my dad was also a hoarder. We had old kitchenware from family being handed down, glassware, whatever. Next couple of nights or the next week, I can't remember which, we woke up in the morning to go to school. All of the cabinets were open. Every single dish, pot, pan, cup, whatever we had, were all stacked nice and neat, from largest to smallest in rows, all across the counter and in the aisle. All like that would take someone a good hour to do that. And a lot of noise would have had to be made. A lot of noise.
Yeah, I know that for sure.
Like, and I slept in the living room, which was like 2 feet away from that kitchen. I didn't hear it. And I know I stayed up till like 1:30. And we woke up at 5 a.m. for school. So yeah, now, that freaked us out too. That was another thing that freaked us out. And I had so many other instances, bro, where I would be laying on the couch and I would see that silhouette, that silhouette of something hovering right over me all the time, bro. It scared the shit out of me as a little kid. Like, really freaked me out. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was going on. Then things got a little more. I started having sleep paralysis episodes, which would be the medical term for it. But in my opinion, I was being fucking held down, suffocated, and either laughed at, growled at, or hissed at right in my ear. And it was like, dude, you can't get out of it, man. Like, there was one time where I know I wasn't even asleep yet. I was barely getting to the point where I was about to start falling asleep. And then that's when, just feel this pressure. You feel like something's watching you. Like someone, like as if someone's face is like right here, bro, like right here. Like that's what you feel with your eyes closed. You just feel, someone's right there. And then you feel pressure. And then you feel like you're getting sunken into whatever couch, bed, whatever. And then you can't breathe. You just can't breathe. You can probably open up your eyes. I never did until I was way older. I never opened up my eyes. I was scared to see what the hell it was. But I just know that I got held down, couldn't breathe, and then you would hear hissing. Or like a growl, dude. Like a wolf or a dog growling right in your ear. Or you'd hear a laugh. And it was like a distant laugh, as if it echoed kind of. So those were some of the things, those are some of the other things that I was going through at the ranch. And I stayed there from first grade year till about fifth grade. Oh, no, yeah. First grade to fifth grade. I stayed at that ranch. I had friends stay over. They had stuff happen to them. They saw stuff. They were scared. My friend Carlos, speaking of him, I haven't seen him in years, but I just saw him the other day. Pretty cool. Catch up with him. But they experienced some stuff there. My cousins experienced some stuff there. Gilbert, him and I were, he was staying the night with me. And there was one time we kept hearing, we thought, well, for sure we knew it was cats fighting underneath the house. And then things changed. We kept hearing the cats fighting underneath the house, but we kept hearing something running on the roof and growling next to the window. That freaked us out. Can't remember exactly what we did after that, but I know we both heard it. And I know he knows more of that story. I'm pretty sure I probably called my dad, but and dude, there were so many times that house. That whole ranch. This is just the whole ranch in general. These things happened. These things that I'm talking about happened in that house. You walk out and you go. There's a 14-acre ranch, and we called this area the bottom of the hill because it was the bottom of the hill. Our ranch was on top of the hill, and that part of the ranch was away from the road, so further away from the road. So whenever you went down there, you're kind of walking through a man-made little road that was kind of sketch and kind of hard to get down with a vehicle unless you had a big truck. But anyways, man, we had a lot of things happen out there. There's this one time, man, we were down there. I think we were with my Theo Harvey, and I don't know what we were doing. Oh, we were down there to look around for like where to put a deer feeder or something, or to put deer feed. And we went with my Theo Harvey, and we kept seeing this dude standing down the hill, deep in the pasture area, but you couldn't really make out who he was or what he looked like or really what he was wearing. I know he was wearing a white shirt and a hat, like a cowboy hat, kind of like a cowboy straw hat, but it wasn't very bent up. It was more flat. And we saw him out there. My Theo Harvey's like, who the fuck is that? And I think we went into the vehicle or his truck or his van. It was his van, old ass van. They were always working on it. We went into his van and we started turning around, going back up the hill. And my Theo Harvey saw in the mirror that guy wasn't even there anymore. And it was like literally like a second. A couple of seconds. We got in the van because the van was already on. Took up the hill, and the guy was just gone. And he had to hop a couple of fences to disappear right there. Like there's not much there past that area. There's like a cliff, so like he would have to climb that to go disappear. But that guy just disappeared. That freaked out my Theo Harvey a little bit. But my Theo Harvey, he's not a bad guy. He's actually an amazing person. He's probably had some downfalls in his past, but anyways, he smoked weed. I think he smoked weed. I don't know what he did. I don't know what kind of drug he did, whatever. But he would go to George, who was right next to where that area is at. Kind of where that area is at, down the hill. That's where George and the crazy lady lived. He'd go to them and buy weed from them. Or I don't know what it was, to be honest. It could have been fucking coke or homemade coke, something. I don't know. These people were hippies, bro. like their vehicle that they had, they changed the engine to where they put oil, vegetable oil instead of gas. Like when they drove past you on the road while you're walking from the bus stop, it smelled like fucking burnt French fries. So these people were that hippie, like they were stupid hippie. And this one time, man, we went up into their house. I was with my tío Harvey, and I guess he was buying weed or whatever he was from them. And dude, I went into their house, bro. It was so weird as shit. We're talking like, dude, this is like off of like a movie. And a lot of people would look at me like, shut up, dude, whatever. Like, shut the fuck up, you're lying. Nah, bro, this is what I really saw. And he can confirm it too. And I think some of my older cousins can probably confirm it. So maybe they went in there. But dude, they had vases, mason jars with animal body parts sitting in them, like on countertops and shit. And then they had random plants in mason jars and shit. Like they had, like, it was like off of a movie. And everything they had looked like it was like handmade, bro. Everything handmade, not nice, shitty handmade shit. Their couch, everything, bro. Like all of it. Their fireplace. But I remember that freaked me out. They had a lot of books there too. They had this one book that I'll always remember, because it was a big book, and it was sitting on their table next to kind of where I was like told to stand and not touch anything or go anywhere. And on that little table, a big book, and that book was like stitched leather or like hog skin or cowhide. It was like different hides stitched for the cover of it, like the outer layer of the book. I never opened it, never touched it, so don't get excited about that because I don't got no story for that one. But I know that book, now that I'm in my mom and dad's bed, I saw it as a kid. Dude, that book was probably type of witchcraft shit. Could have been witchcraft, or it could have just been an ordinary book. Did something, but in my heart, they were doing something weird with that book. That's what I saw as a kid. And then it just kept going on and on, man. There were times where you would hear like a lady screaming down our hill. Some dude, I remember some dude came to our house the summertime, some guy that was I guess our ranch neighbor, like he had a ranch next to us kinda. And he came to our house on a fucking gator. And he was like, hey, like, first he called us and told us, because we were outside, he told us, like, hey, go call your parents. And so we did. And I think my mom came out. I think my mom, dad. And that guy was like, did y'all hear any little kids or a lady like screaming and crying? Like loud. And we're like, yeah, like we heard it. We heard it. We were always told by my grandma that was a mountain lion or something like that. Probably a mountain. Or a bobcat. And that guy was like telling my dad, he's like, that was not a mountain lion and that was not a bobcat. He's like, that was a lady and kids screaming like someone was murdering. I came over here to check because they came from this area. Like it came from the back of y'all's ranch back there. And my dad was like, what the fuck? Like, no, like, where no one's doing anything here. Like, no one's killing anyone here. Like, there's, whatever. But we heard it. As little kids, we heard that shit. There's me, Gilbert, Dylan, I swear maybe Ashton. But we heard that shit. It sounded like a lady. We only heard the lady. We didn't hear the kids. But it sounded like a lady just screaming. But we were always told that was a mountain lion. Man, there were so many other things.
So I have a quick question.
Hmm.
So one of the guys in the stream said that picture you saw fly, he said, could it be a lechuza, like that Mexican witch?
So that's the one thing. See, I didn't want to get into folklore because I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Is it the
but-
Lechusa or So when you said that you were like what do you call it, like sleep paralysis? Somebody commented the old night hag, which is technically like a witch, technically la Lechusa.
Man, my fucking arm hairs fucking jump up, bro. So yeah, there's folklore, and we grew up hearing it, little kids. Half of my family, well, really, majority of my family was Hispanic. I'm half white, half Hispanic. I really talk to the white side. My mom's white, and we always heard the folklores of Lechusa.
Yep.
We didn't know the actual lore of it, but I know for sure that we were told the Lechusa is gonna get you if you're outside at night. You need to get inside and go to bed. Things like that. Or the Lechusa would whistle, and you would hear a whistle, loud, distinct whistle. Here's some good ones. There's another thing that happened when we were kids, man. We would hear whistles, and they're not your typical usual whistle. Like, people have a really good whistle. I don't have a really good whistle, but I know like a couple of my friends, bro, they can whistle so loud it kind of rings your ears. But this whistle was like, it felt like it was right next to you, but it felt like it was far away. Can't explain that. I don't know how to explain it any better, but this whistle was like that. And it didn't ring your eardrums. It just kind of like was there. And we would hear whistles like that sometimes, man. And when we heard those whistles, we knew like inside, bro. We gotta get inside. Go inside, find something to do, PlayStation, something, right? There's one time, man, I was staying with Gilbert down the hill. Like I said, man, we kind of lived on the same property. And like, I was staying with him down the hill, and his mom, bro, we were ghetto, dude. We were ghetto. His mom made me and Gilbert's a 5th grader. Oh no, this is a little later in. So I was a 2nd, 3rd grader. Gilbert was a 6th grader, 7th grader. She would make us watch the 2 babies. Gilbert's 2 little sisters. One of them was newborn. One of them was like a year or 2 old. And we would watch them. And my tia Missy worked at a nursing home. So she worked like late. Like, she would work from freaking 8 in the morning all the way till about 7, 8 at night. Even longer, sometimes even until like 11. I was staying with Gilbert. We were with the kids. And dude, we heard that whistle loud, bro. He heard it distinctly, right? It felt like it was right next to us in the room, but also felt like it was outside. When we heard that, that's when we started hearing things like walking on his roof. I just walking, bro. Like it was weird. It was a heavy walk. Then after that, that's when their front door was an old sliding door, like 1960s, 1970s freaking mobile home sliding door. This motherfucker's heavy, bro. Like, it was heavy. And it would fall off of the hinges sometimes, too, when you're moving it. And when it fell off the hinges, like, it took me, Dylan, and Gilbert to put that thing back on the hinges. And I know we're little kids, but that's a pretty heavy door for little kids to have 3 kids, 2 of them being 6th, 7th graders, and one of them being a 3rd grader to put back on the hinge. So this door, man, there's no way that this could have happened without some crazy shit. The door slammed, loud, like shook the whole freaking house, shook the whole thing. The baby started crying. Me and Gilbert started going nuts. We didn't know what to do. We're hiding under the covers. We're hiding under the pillows. Scared for our lives, bro. Like, we're scared. We're fucking scared. This felt like it went on forever. But really, I guess it only went on for like maybe 30, 40 minutes of us like hearing shit. And then my tia Missy rolls up. We heard her car roll up. And dude, we were so happy, bro. We thought we were saved, man. Like, we thought we were going to die. And she rolls up and she's like, "What the hell? Like, what's wrong with y'all? Why is the door open?" Like, she's tripping out. And we're like trying to tell her, like, "Yeah, there was something here. There was something here. We don't know." We were crying to her, and she's like, she's kind of laughing, but at the same time, she's concerned because she knew what it was. That same house that I'm talking about, that was actually my family's house growing up. My dad, grew up there a little bit. Um, my my uncles were not allowed to sleep in. They were forced to sleep outside. Uh, my grandpa was very religious, crazy religious, like kind of schizophrenia type religious man. Like now that I think about it, and he would make the men, sleep outside. Women had to sleep. So all the boys would have to put up tents, sleep outside. So that was my family's house. Kind of crazy stuff. Uh, so it's an old house, and there's a lot of history to it, a lot of bad history. But my grandpa wasn't all there, man. From what I was told growing up, he got deep into his religion. He started worshiping more of the Star of David. I don't know which religion that really is. I know it's Christianity still and Catholicism, whatever. They're almost the same, but it's deeper. Like he really dwelled with the Star of David. Like he was all about the Star of David, and he got to the point where he had multiple people following him, like as if he was a preacher. I guess. And I never met my grandpa, so I'm just going based off the stories that I heard. But he had many people follow him and look to him for advice for religion, and he was really crazy about it, overly crazy, over the top. And he would even have camps where they would all wear white, to all sleep outside. Other families come and sleep outside too, and shit like that. And he would put on a front, but he was very abusive and very manipulative. He would beat the kids, my dad and my uncles. He'd beat them with rocks, sticks, bats, whatever he could find. If they didn't do what he said, they didn't get the water ready for the women, for them to make food or whatever, or if they didn't get wood, if they didn't, just these crazy things, man, that they were living in the 70s and 60s. So they had these things, but my grandpa didn't really believe in, newer technology, at least not for the kids. He had it for himself, but for them. And I can confirm that he wasn't all there because we kind of scavenged through that area as kids and we found his tape recorder hidden, kind of buried in this little shack area that he kind of kept to himself. He had an old typewriter and all kinds of shit. Shack. But his tape recordings, man, were pretty scary. Like, things that he said, they were really scary. So I do think a lot of the things that happened to us on that ranch came from my grandpa, and then those crazy people that were living there, and they were living there at that time too. I'm sure, could be wrong, but they were living there too at that time. Another thing that I did not mention was my Uncle Roger's story. They knew that George had this house that it wasn't a house. It was a damn tin thing that was just it looked like a deer blind, but it's there still. Like you can go look at it to this day. I could take you. But anyways, he had this thing that George would go in there and do his shit, but he would always tell the kids, "Do not go in. Do not touch my stuff in there. None of y'all go in. None of y'all mess with any of it." Well, apparently you tell kids that, what are they gonna do? They're gonna go live
in there.
Yeah. So my Uncle Roger went over there, and I mean, I don't really recall his main story, but I know, long story short, he went in there, they found some book, and I think they took it to my grandpa, and he burned it.
Mhm.
When he burned it, from what my dad told me, was it looked like that book shriveled up and turned into a snake or a worm and went into the ground. Like he said, it looked like one of those snake fireworks that you light,
Yeah.
and it did that, but it went like into the ground. So that's another thing. For sure, I know for sure from what I saw, the George and Nevis, the crazy lady, they were doing black magic or something. They were doing something.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, supposedly, what is it? The Star of David, it's used by witches, like people that do like the Pentagon and like summon stuff. And if you think about it, the whole witches. Now that you put this kind of story together, let's say they did witchcraft. Maybe
Yeah.
Chusa was maybe the old hag.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been. Now here's some more stuff, bro. I'm not done. Like I'm barely getting started. This is still, my elementary school years, bro. um, so another story from my uncle, just to kind of tie this in. My grandpa went in there after that, just to see what the hell he had. My grandpa never told anyone to this day what he saw. And apparently after that, my grandpa really got worse. He got way worse. Like, he got bad, man. Like to the point where it made him go to prison. But he got way worse. And he got to the point where he was calling out God. He was calling out God, saying that he was a prophet, and that he was also calling out the devil or Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to say. He was calling out that too, saying that he's a prophet and that he can stand strong just like Jesus did, or even stronger than Jesus. Stuff like that. Like apparently he was saying that stuff. Like at night he would do that, and yeah, so things got really worse. Eventually, I think they moved. Oh no, they started moving out individually. My dad, he started moved out. My uncle started moving out. They all started moving out. I think the last one there was my uncle Joe. He was the last one. The future from there. George and the crazy lady were around back when my dad was young, and they were doing some shit there. Their building has been pulled out from what I saw. It is sitting on the side of the road now, so you can see it just by driving by it now. And if you do go to check it out, it's there. You can go look in it. It's sitting right next to the road. But we're talking this building was an old tin looking trailer thing sitting on barrels, rusted looking. And yeah, they were doing some shit in there. And then one time we decided to start cleaning up our ranch because we were gonna sell it. This was like 2006, 2007. I think it was like 2007 because the market crashed in 2008. All right, so yeah, 2007 we were gonna sell it. So my Theo Harvey started helping us and started making a fence around our properties. Our property wasn't really fenced; it was our neighbors' fences that were kind of fenced. So my Theo Harvey started making fences and making a gate for the whole 14 acres all the way around. But when he started getting to the side next to George and Nevis, they started throwing a fit. Like they were mad, bro. They were pissed that we were fencing off our property. And they really did throw a fit. Like they would walk to our house from their house through our property and come knock on our doors and ask for my dad or whoever. You know, they kind of get into it. But it was our property. You know, we could fence it. It's our property. What the fuck? But they were mad. They didn't like it. They were pissed. So they started calling. I guess the state. Maybe I don't know who the hell they called. But we had this. My grandpa had all the kids and the family throw trash in this one area for years, and it turned into like a kind of a little hill. It wasn't that big, but anyways, they called the state on us, and they went out there and they saw it, and they gave us like a ticket, I guess you could say. I don't know, like a ticket to say, clean up your land. Like, you can't have that here. Clean it up. It's not regulated. So we had to clean up our ranch. We had to hire a backhoe and a bobcat. We started cleaning up the ranch and shit. But as we were cleaning up the ranch, they were still pissed off because now we were messing with our trees. We were cutting down some of our trees, clearing our land. We're making it look real nice. We're being forced to do this. Why not? Let's do this. And we just said, fuck it. We fenced it off all the way. And it kind of messed up their area of how they could get into their property. But, I mean, dude, it's our easement, Like, that's our property. So they got pissed. They got even more pissed off. And then that's when shit started getting real, bro. Things started really happening. And, dude, my grandma got sick. My grandma out of nowhere got real sick. My cousin Cameron, he got taken by his biological father, who wasn't in his life for the first 4 to 5 years. Like, out of nowhere, he just came in and picked him up and took him. We thought he was kidnapped. But, long story short, we took that to court and we lost because his mom was dead. My aunt Clara passed away before that. Anyways, my grandma got real sick. She was taking care of Dylan and Cameron at that time. Cameron got taken away. We were just having bad luck, like real bad luck. Like as if, like a curse that we put on us or something. And we were having really bad luck, man. Like we couldn't get nothing right. People who had their vehicle, just had their vehicle there, they freaking wreck it, crash it. It was just bad juju. More than likely, it was probably tied in with Nevis and George, or the crazy lady and George. But, yeah, my grandma got real sick. She had to go to the hospital, and she ended up in a nursing home. And we would stay in that house. And dude, we would hear shit, bro. Like, we would hear things running up this ramp that she had. And they were heavy footsteps, bro. Like, as if something was just, like, running back and forth up this ramp. Boom, 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 boom. And it would scare the shit out of us, bro. My tia Marcy would stay with us, and she was living there to take care of my grandma's house. So, and dude, she started kind of freaking us out too. She liked it. She liked this shit. She would laugh at us. She would just laugh. She heard it. She heard it. She was standing right there, my aunt, and she was the second oldest out of my aunts and uncles. She was sitting right there, and she heard it. And she was laughing. And we're like, "Do you not hear that, dear?" She's like, "Yeah, I hear it." She's like, "But don't go look outside. Don't go look out the door." She's like, "Go get me the Bible. I'm gonna teach you how to get it to go away for a little bit." And that's when she taught us how to read Psalms 91. That didn't work for a while. That's when we started finding little chalk skulls sitting around randomly, bro, like in random areas on our ranch. Our ranch is 14 acres. We kept finding these chalk skulls, like calacas. And I remember I took one to my dad. I was like, what the fuck? Like, dude, these things were actually pretty cool, man. Like, they were chalk carved skulls. Perfectly carved. Perfect. And if you, like, squeeze them too hard or rub them on something, they would fall to pieces like chalk. Like, you could draw with them. Like, white chalk. I took one to my dad, and he was like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I was like, we keep finding these. And my dad was like, he's like, get that out of the house. He's like, don't mess with that. He's like, you know what? He's like, light the fire, dude. Midsummer, bro. Midsummer. It's hot. 98, probably. I don't know. It was hot. My dad was like, grab that, go light the fire, and throw that in the fire right now. Like, what the fuck? And my tia Missy was there, Gilbert was there, like they all fucking came to see. And I threw it in the fire. This chalk skull turned into different colors, bro. Like you ever put one of those magazines that has ink on it in the fire and it turns like purple, green, red, whatever. Well, I put that chalk skull in the fire. Well, with really just threw it. And that's what you saw it do, bro. But I can't explain it. It just kind of like opened up and then kind of fizzled away. I've never seen chalk burn. Have you ever seen chalk burn? Like I've never seen chalk burn. So this to this day kind of throws me off. I threw it in the fire and you just saw those colors of the flame coming out. There's green, purple, blue, yellow, red, orange, and then it just turned into ashes. Disappeared. And after that, my dad was like, "Yeah," he's like, that's not normal. That's something that y'all don't need to be messing with. You see those again, don't touch them, don't mess with them. And if you see that crazy lady over there, don't talk to her. Don't ever talk to her again." And we never talked to her ever again, bro. And then 2008 hit. We lost the ranch. We lost the house. We lost the ranch. 2008 hit. The market crashed. We lost everything. We were forced to sell the house and the ranch and pay liquidate your assets because we went bankrupt. It was kind of fucked up what happened, but we lost it all. And we actually sold that ranch to, I don't know if you remember Elvis. We sold it to Elvis's dad.
Oh, Selena Gomez's husband? Okay, yeah.
Selena Gomez's dad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we eventually sold that ranch to them.
Oh, yeah, I heard that
And then
it was haunted from them. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Dude, it looks ugly now, bro. That ranch was beautiful. Beautiful trees and everything. But after 2008, all those trees got oak wilt. They all died.
Well, I thought
All
they
the
lost
land.
the property and then they had to move into town. Then they
Maybe
they live
maybe they
Walgreens, I think now. Behind Walgreens, like 2, 3 blocks behind Walgreens.
I'm gonna have to talk with him. But yeah, I eventually went back to that house in 2017. Went to a party out there. Number one, I was invited to the party, and I was like, okay, yeah, cool, it's a party. Then I heard where it was at. Like, I want to go. I want to go. But yeah, now I went there, and I know I'm jumping to the future right now, but I went there. They were having a house party. She started kind of, yeah, no, dude, I was just walking through the rooms, bro. I was just walking around. Holy shit. The things that I saw in that house. The shadows, the noises, the fucking just crazy shit. Now, personally, I've never seen a ghost. I don't believe in ghosts. I don't think ghosts are real. I've never seen one. But I do believe that there's spirits and bad energy and demonic energy and demons. I do believe that, for sure. But when it comes down to actually seeing a figure and making out what it actually is, I've never seen that. Out of all the experiences and all the things that I have had happen to me personally, like I've felt them, heard them, but I never saw an actual face figure or a person as a ghost. Never really did. I only saw their figure. So, like, for instance, that dude that I saw at the bottom of our ranch, I could only see his hat and his shirt. Could never make out if he had a facial figure, but you could see what they were wearing. That's probably the only thing that I've ever actually could recall as ghost-ish. But yeah, other than that, it's always shadows and silhouettes, or white silhouettes, white shadows. Anyways, moving on. We lost that house, lost that ranch, and we had to move to Fredericksburg. And we stayed in Balcones with my uncle, who was renting a house, and we just stayed with him until we could figure out what the hell we were going to do. Now that house wasn't as haunted. It actually felt great. First time I got good sleep, dude. Like, I remember those nights in that house. They were great. Till I don't know where. Oh, okay. My Joe moved out and let us take over the rent. That's what happened. All right. So the nights in that house were great, bro. Nothing there. No noises, no nothing, no sleep paralysis. I could walk, dude. I could get up at 3. I could stay up till 3 in the morning playing video games, walk downstairs to the kitchen, grab something to drink and eat, and walk back up in the dark. You know, not being scared at all. But then, out of nowhere, Joe got a different house to rent and let us take over rent for that house. And things started changing. You really started feeling like something. And you could hear things here and there. It wasn't like the ranch, but you could hear things like walking around, like as if someone's shuffling their feet. There was these bathrooms that we had on the second story, and the bathrooms had a door that kind of went into the attic of the first, which was weird. But anyways, they had a door, right? That door always scared the shit out of me. Afterward, at first it never scared me, but then out of nowhere it started scaring me because it was like, dude, what if that door were to open? Like that door, you go take a shit. You're staring straight at that little door, and to the right of that door is the entrance to the bathroom. So if anything, in my mind as a kid, like if anything comes out of there, bro, I'm fucked. So I started thinking like, dude, something's gonna come out of that door, or that door's gonna open. Well, one night that door fucking, but I wasn't.
Hold on, mijo, lost connection.
Dang, man,
It got disconnected, my bad. Okay.
are you good? Anyways, back to that. I don't know if you caught that. Where were we at? We're talking about the door in that second story, right?
Yeah, second house, second floor, and then something about the restroom.
So that door finally opened, and there was 2 bathrooms there, but that door fucking opened. I didn't see it open, but I went in there, brushed my teeth and whatnot to go to bed. But I went back in there like 20 minutes later, go to the bathroom, door was open. Then after that, bro, that was when things really increased at that house. But we were moving out already. We were already starting to move out. So we moved out of that house when things started to amp up, which I was like, good, man. I was so happy. I was like, dude, because I was getting scared. It felt like I was the little kid again. And then we moved to the Blue Bonnet house. Nothing happened there. And then from there, we got our own place finally. And this is 7th grade now. So we went 6th grade. I had to move away. So I moved. I went all 6th grade, Fredericksburg. 7th grade, Fredericksburg, instead of Comfort. And this is 7th grade now. We found a house. And it was good, bro. Back to normal nothing, bro. I was living life like a normal kid. And then, boom, my dad got sick. My grandma had already passed away. My Aunt Marcy, by this time, had passed away. They passed away within a couple of years of each other. So, 5th grade year, 5th grade, between 5th and 6th grade, my grandma passed away. We had to move away. We lost the ranch. 6th grade year, the 7th grade year, my Aunt Marcy, the one that I told you. Yeah, no, I went there and had to read Psalms 91, passes away. Her passing was actually kind of a weird freak accident. They said it was a drug overdose, but she never really did drugs. Probably prescription pills, but I don't know. They said that it was a freak accident, heart attack out of nowhere in her sleep. Anyway, she passed away. So we lost a lot of family, man. We lost a lot of family throughout those years. And then my dad got sick, 7th grade year. And long story short, he passed away. Um, like I said, there was nothing there at that house. It was perfect. Felt, like I said, man, this new house, it was like you go to sleep, wake up, 3 in the morning, look at the clock, and it says 3 in the morning. You go get yourself something to drink. You're not even scared. You're walking around in the dark, not even scared. Like, you don't get that all the time. I guess, I mean, I don't. Not all. But anyways, my dad passes away. I'm going through some deep depression. My dad passed away in the house, by the way. And I skipped a lot of school. A lot of school. And I was there at that house by myself. My sister wasn't there anymore. She was living with her boyfriend in Menard, I think. My mom was nonstop working because, one, she was depressed, and two, she had to provide for us and make extra money that my dad had made to pay for the bills. And she also didn't know how to pay the bills. She was just working to have a bunch of money just in case. So I was always there by myself after my dad passed away. And I started coming to the point where I was so depressed that I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to see him. So I started talking to nothing. Kind of like how you make an imaginary friend. And I started saying, Dad, if you're there, talk to me. Please, make a sound, do something, please. Please. Like, if anything's there, it's you. Please. I need to know you're here. I need to know that you're okay. You know? I did that for a couple of nights, I think, and no response. But then I got chills. Something weird started happening. In the bathroom, all the soap bottles. Brittany had a lot of soap bottles. Always freaking conditioner, shampoo, body wash, whatever else. She had like 4 different bottles of soap. Anyways, we had enough bottles of soap for this. They were all lined up perfectly in the bathtub from tallest to shortest. Neatly in the bathtub. And I was like, what the fuck? I got mad. I kicked them over. I was like, Brittany, if you're trying to play games with me, I'm not going to mess with them because Brittany just moved back. Yeah, Brittany just moved back. Sorry. Brittany just moved back from Menard. My sister. And I told her, I was like, if you're trying to play games with me, trying to freak me out, I'm not, you know, just leave me alone. She's like, what are you freaking talking about? You know, sister, brother, fucking argument. And I told her, I was like, you put the soap bottles in the bathtub lined up. You're just trying to freak me out. And she's like, no, I did not. I was like, whatever. And I remember I kicked all those soap bottles over. I think like an hour later, Brittany went to the bathroom. And in the bathtub, all the soap bottles were lined up again. Perfectly neat. And she's like, Aaron, look. Come here and look. And I went and I looked. And I was like, what the fuck? First thing that popped in my mind is Dad. I was like, it's got to be Dad. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, it's got to be Dad. I've been trying to talk with him. I didn't use no Ouija board or anything like that, so don't put that into play. But I know I was talking to something. And so I told her, I was like, it was Dad. She's like, no. Yeah, it's got to be Dad. And then my mom started saying that she was hearing things in the kitchen, and I started hearing them too. It was like feet scuffling on the ground, like someone's wearing socks and walking across the hardwood floor. And my mom would start telling me that she was hearing that. And she's like, I think your dad's still here. You know, my mom was sad. She was devastated. So my mom would cry herself to sleep at night. And I went and stayed in my mom's bed and kept her comfort one night. And this one really messed with me. I felt like something was watching me again, just like I was a little kid laying on the couch. And there was just enough light in the room to kind of, you could see the doors and shit. And I guess it was from the receiver from the cable box. But it was just enough light to see everything in the room. Kinda. Not all the way. I'm laying on the bed on my side, and the bathroom door is straight in front of me. And I feel like something's fucking right there, dude, watching, like right there. My eyes are open. I'm looking around. There's nothing there. At least I didn't see. And I'm just like, whatever. Going back. I'm just trying to go to sleep. And I'm closing my eyes. And then I started opening my eyes. Like, you open your eyes just a little bit.
Yeah, you get that little.
And yeah, I saw the fucking bathroom door, the doorknob turn, and it slowly opened. No sound. No sound. It didn't go, it didn't make no fucking screech. It just slowly opened. Now, some people probably would say lucid dream, but I wasn't asleep. I didn't go to sleep yet. I know for damn sure. And that fucking bathroom door opened. As soon as I saw it, like, opening up more, bro, I closed my eyes and stood there. Fuck. I'm already in 7th grade, so trust me, I'm using the word fuck. Like, I really am using it. I'm saying fuck. I don't know how my mom didn't wake up. She was right next to me. And I'm saying fuck. Because, dude, I felt like I was going to die. Like, something was right there and it was going to fucking get me. And that's when I felt pressure. I got pushed into the side of the bed. Like, just enough to where I could see the bed right next to my left eye, but I got pushed into the bed to where I couldn't see nothing out of my left eye, but I could see the bed out of my right eye. I got pushed deep into the bed, deep. And then I couldn't move. And I couldn't breathe. And then I just felt it hissing and getting closer to my face and just growling and then go, and it let me go. Fucking let me go. And I got up. Dude, I got up scared as fuck, bro. Because I couldn't. That's the only thing I think in my head, bro. And I woke up like that, or I wasn't asleep. I got up like that. And I shook my mom, and I was crying to her, and she's like tripping out, like, what is wrong with you? Like, no, you're okay. There's nothing here. I was like, Mom, something just tried to get me. Like, it just tried to get me. It almost had me. And she's like, there's nothing here. And, dude, I was in 7th grade, bro. Like, you're a young adult by then. As a little kid, you're scared. Okay, I'm going to forget about it tomorrow when I'm playing with my fucking Legos or something. Nah, bro. I was 7th grade, dude, and this freaked me the fuck out. I told my mom, I was like, we got to move. The next day, I said, we have to move. I don't want to stay here no more. I don't want to live here. That's not dad. Whatever that is, it is not dad. Because it attacked me. And then after that, a couple of days after that, we moved fast, bro. Like, my mom was on it. She was like, okay, we're out then. So a couple of days later, Brittany and her boyfriend are fighting. His name was Craig. Fucking Craig. They were fighting. And I was yelling at both of them to knock it off. Stop. Because it was getting me mad. And that's when you started hearing fucking something being thrown around in the back rooms. We were like, what the hell? And then where it is a big modular trailer, this house that we were renting, is a big modular trailer. So when something was being moved around, you felt it.
Yeah, you felt it through the whole trailer.
Yeah. So go to my room, my fan got picked up, and it looked like it got slammed around my fucking room. There was old chips of paint coming off my walls after that. shit everywhere. The fan was broken into pieces. One of those stand-up fans, broken into pieces. The wire looked like it had been bitten. Weird, bro. And it freaked me the fuck out. I was like, yeah, we gotta get out of here. We gotta leave. And then my cousin Nick stayed there one night with us, and he slept on the couch, and he freaked the fuck out because he said he saw something standing right over him, something black standing right over him while he was falling asleep on the couch, and he fucking ran to my room. And I was like, dude, bro, I haven't seen nothing like that yet. I was like, dude, get the fuck out of my room. Like, let it get you, not me. And he was like, nah, fuck you. It was funny because he was crying. And I was like, yeah, I'm not the only one now. So it was pretty crazy, bro. And we moved out like fast. It was like 2 weeks later, man. My mom was out. Boom. Me and my mom didn't get along after that. I don't know if it was just because I was growing up. I was 14 and I just lost my dad and whatnot, but we didn't get along really much after that. And so I ended up moving with my mom for a little bit. I was bad. I wouldn't go to school. My mom was getting in trouble with truancy. So my uncle offered to take me in and kind of raise me a little bit better or more, not better. My mom did a good job. But to, put a man in my life, kind of. But anyways, I went and stayed with my uncle, and yeah, man, that's 8th grade year now. No,
7th grade.
9th grade year.
Yeah. I remember those good old days, me and you sitting at lunch.
Almost half 8th grade year. I wasn't even there, bro. So a lot of this stuff was taking place 8th grade year. My dad passed away the end of 7th grade, so 8th grade year, all this stuff was taking place. Now I'm a freshman, 9th grade. Moved in with my uncle. First night, 608 Blue Bond Street. First night, I moved in with him, right? And I had a little mattress that I brought. He bought me a bed the next day, but I had a little mattress that I brought so I could have something to sleep on. And I'm laying on that mattress. I felt uncomfortable in the house already, but it was just like that little thing back there. Morgan was staying there she was together with Israel at this time, and they were staying in the spare bedroom. I was staying in the bigger spare bedroom I was staying in. And Joe and Megan slept in the big room. Well, there was a hallway, and on that hallway, there was just one bathroom in that hallway. They had a bathroom in there, so they never used it. But there was a bathroom in that hallway. And I remember that first night I stayed there, I gotta use the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom. I was gonna get me something to drink, probably something to snack on. But I looked down that hallway and it felt like something right there. Second thought, probably not. Closed the door, thought about it. I gotta use the fucking bathroom. I gotta take a shit. So I fucking ran down the hallway, flipped the light on, and then ran to the bathroom. Closed it, locked it. I'm taking shit. The worst fear, I don't know why, that comes to my mind while you're going to the bathroom late at night in a house and you know everyone's asleep is something comes and shakes the door or opens it, while it's locked. Well, that's what I was thinking at that time. I was taking shit. What the fuck happens? The fucking handle is like someone was trying to fucking get in. They wanted to get in. They were shaking the shit out of it. And I was like, hey, like I'm in here. I'm taking shit. Like, hey. And they're like, nothing, dude. No sound, no nothing. I'm like, I'm in the bathroom. So they stopped shaking. I get it stopped shaking. I'm like, I'm in the bathroom. Like, hold on, man. I'll come out. But I didn't hear no door open or close at all. So it couldn't have been Morgan or Israel. And I'm thinking in my head, like, dude, I didn't even hear the door open or close. What the fuck? So I stayed there, bro, for like an hour. And I was like, dude, it's already 3 a.m. I need to go to bed. And I was sitting on this toilet this whole time. So I fucking ran in my room, closed the door, and I went to sleep. The next day, I confronted Morgan and Israel. I was like, hey, I was like, were y'all shaking the doorknob to the bathroom last night to try to get in? Because I was in there. They're like, no. Like,
critical alert from Microsoft.
so y'all didn't
Your
hear
computer
me
has alerted
yelling or
us that it
anything?
is infected by a virus and
No, we
or
were dead
spyware.
asleep. Like, but we didn't